aboard the Cortez. I'm sitting here with my good friend Brian Nguyen. Brian,
Ready to go.
good to see you, man. It is such a great charter you have put together here, and we feel fortunate, Mackie and I, to be on board with you.
Really limited load.
Oh my God! Really, there's 10 fishermen because two of us are filming.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys catch limits, maybe we'll sneak
There
out
you
there
go.
and catch one. But our main purpose on this trip is to put together some instructional videos for all of you.
Yeah.
With Brian, of course, because I feel like Brian is the best fishing expert. He explains things so you can understand them. He does this all the time. He knows what he's doing. And Brian, we're going to try to put together some really good instructional videos for the people out there.
Yeah, I'll agree with the second part of it. I enjoy speaking on it, but expert probably not. But with that being said, one of the things I mentioned to you when I brought this to your attention was to create content for your show.
Yes.
But content more kind of instructional, but at the same time, kind of bring to light a few things about bluefin tuna fishing and get people excited about it, get people wanting to go. That fish is biting now, guys, and they're big. And now's a better time than any to get out there, for the people who might not, who kind of are a little bit leery of going bluefin tuna fishing. I know there's that stigma out there. Obviously, there are chances of going home with zero tags drawn.
Yeah,
but that's the same with any species.
That's right.
And this one here, it's no different than any tuna fishing that we do. I mean, outside of this nighttime fishing, but you come from the long range world. The nighttime fishing is kind of common for us there.
Yeah, right.
So, looking forward to it.
Man, Jim Hughes, Rambo, who runs the boat.
My good friend.
I said to him, hey, man, it's sure good to see you. And I go, it's been a long time. And he looks me right in the eye and says, 1996. And how he remembered that, I don't know. But it made me feel good that he actually remembered the last time we saw each other.
Yeah.
I can see he's a funny guy, but he's all business.
One of the things I absolutely love about him is the fact that he's like you. He's still, that fire burns really hot and really bright within him. He doesn't want to stop, and you can tell by the fact that he is pretty much charter only.
Yeah,
and he sells out every single year.
How old is Rambo? Do you have a guess?
I would say that he could be one of my clients. How about that?
Okay, all right.
He's
over 65, right? Because you say that he really wants to do it. He's getting up there in age. He's on the bait receiver, scooping the bait, making sure I watch these short scoops to make sure you're not knocking the scales off the bait. I watch the guys, how gentle they were loading the bait. They're very careful about that.
Yeah, I think it comes from his long range background. I mean, him and the crew, you kind of heard he was going through kind of their short bios there, but you've got guys that are, Royal Polaris Shogun guys in a past life, and now they're on this boat here. So I hope you get a chance to see, hopefully tonight, the crew really working at it, working hard for us, making sure that we're able to land these fish.
Absolutely. Let me give everybody a little rundown. You and I we'll just listen to Rambo together.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that fish is down around Ensenada. We should be on it after midnight.
Yep. Probably right around midnight is when we're going to start looking for those things. One of the, so we got on, we pulled out. I mean, realistically, we're en route about 6 o'clock, be there around midnight, but that's kind of the rule. One of the rules on the Cortez. He wants you rigged up immediately.
Oh, he said that.
You have no idea what you're going to run into or when. So
he also said, get some sleep now.
Yeah.
Because we're fishing hard tonight.
Yeah. He said, we're fishing hard this trip.
Yes.
So definitely. We'll see what we can put together here, but it's going to be pretty. I'm hoping it's going to. I know for a fact it's going to be fun.
Oh,
and having you on board, and
thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Hear some stories that you'll tell us. Maybe we'll pray for albacore or something.
Oh my God, I worked it in already, man.
I know.
Jim said it's the coldest water we've seen in 8 or 9 years, and I said albacore.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah.
I said, yeah.
So that fish, for those of you who may be coming out, I'll let Brian tell you with the size jig and everything else, but it's been biting right at sundown until about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Jim said he just talked to Aliar on the Polaris Supreme, and it bites till about 4 and then shuts off. Size jig, guys are out there. They're going to be getting on a boat tomorrow. What do you recommend?
Guys, what I'm hearing right now is that they're really keying in on small profile jigs. Small profile, but heavy jigs. So if you're looking at stuff like, the Eddie bombs, if you want to go that route, the West Coast Jiggers HD jig, they got them at like 350 grams, 400 grams, stuff like that. Some of these the new thing that's, I can't say it's catching on, but there's tungsten jigs now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of right in line, obviously, with what we're trying to accomplish here. Smaller
small
jig,
and
but heavy.
Yep.
They're expensive, but you could that'd be it. Anything from whatever's going to get you down. Rambo was talking about that fish is biting at about 40 fathoms. One of the rules of thumb that I have is 1 gram for every foot that they're marking at. So you can start there. But from what I see in the forecast, we have some wind this trip. We're not flat calm and we're not cancellation weather,
right.
But we do have some wind, so that we might drift a little bit faster. So you're going to have to adjust probably up from that one. Up from there.
What'd you see, like 15 knots or so?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Not bad.
Nothing crazy. We don't have ginormous swells or anything like that. I think it's like 4 feet at 15 seconds or something like that. So we're definitely in fishable weather.
Brian, are we going to let the cat out of the bag about what it is we're going to be doing in terms of instructional bidders, or are we going to hold off on that?
No, these are I cover in some of my workshops. You went to one, the fly lining one.
That was great.
And we're going to go kind of step by step on little things here. Little things that I think are going to make a big difference for anybody who doesn't have time to practice these things and are probably more visual. So we're going to get visual on this trip here. One of the things I cover in my workshop, especially the fly lining one, is the methods of hooking your bait.
Yes.
I have 5 ways that I do it, and we're going to show you those 5 ways, and we're going to make it even more special.
Yes.
We're going to how the sardine behaves in the water with those 5 ways and why we do it. So looks like we don't have. Rambo said there's not much time, not much fish catching in the daytime anyway. Yeah. So we might have an opportunity to really get after it in regards to those shorts. Just things like that for your viewers to have a really good understanding of just overall fishing, tuna fishing, fly line game, and a couple other things that we're going to throw in there as well. So hopefully we get some good footage tonight.
Our camera guy, Mackie, I don't know if you've told him yet that we expect him to swim out a little ways and then film the bait in the water. We haven't told you that yet,
I haven't told him that yet, no.
By the way, normally tonight you'd be watching Tackle Shop Confessions with Sam De La Torre. And Sam, Brian and I both send our very best to you. Yeah, Sam, sorry, I'm out here looking for bluefin tuna with Brian and really looking forward. What a crew. I mean, we've got Rambo, and then how many guys? 4 other guys?
Yeah, 4 other guys.
For 10 anglers.
For 10 anglers.
Get out of here, man. That's bitching.
Yeah, we've got a good mix of, I have some, there's some new faces that I haven't fished with, and I'm really looking forward to sharing the reel with them. I know like guys come in here, some of the guys said that they wanted to come and learn. There's not much I learned from them, to be honest with you. They learned from me. I learned so much from them. Yeah. I'm being honest with you. But I'm looking forward to fishing there. We've got a good mix of veteran fishermen and those that haven't really seen the bigger portion of it, or the bigger fish, or encountered the bigger fish in their fishing career. So we have an opportunity now to be able to do so.
Right on. John Garma is a new guy on your trip, and he fishes all of our charters and has his personal best with us, 205 on the Amigo. Beautiful fish. So he's after his new PB tonight,
there you go.
It could happen.
Yeah, one thing interesting right now, I got off the phone with a couple of people, a couple of guys, a couple of my friends that got off of trips, and this isn't that typical summer butter bean fish that just come floating up, in a matter of seconds here. I've heard that these fish are a little squirrely. And they're putting up a fight. So one of the things that I'm doing on this trip is I'm actually backing off a little bit on the drag that I fish on them. Not necessarily. I'm not of the fact that they're going to throw a hook. But what I don't want to have happen is if it's full speed and we've got some rocking and rolling going on, I find that by lightening the drag sometimes, it gives them an opportunity now to swim out. Then we can have plenty of time to figure out how to bring them back in, as opposed to them bulldogging us straight up and down underneath the boat. So.
Yeah. Yep. So normally, I mean, in a lot of cases, that nighttime fish is kind of docile in a way, or they seem confused, like they're disoriented. And I've seen guys who are not the greatest of anglers land a fish that's 60 pounds in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they're putting up a little bit more of a
putting up
tussle.
a fight. I got messages this morning off from my friends on the friend of mine on the Intrepid, and he did right. He says they are fighters. They're fighting hard. So he gave us that warning.
Yeah. There was who was I talking to? JC, and he was on. I don't know if he's on the Angler. I think he might be on the Angler. And he said they had heard of a 280 caught on the Vagabond, but I never got that confirmed. And I'm not sure that happened because I don't hear anybody crowing about it. And they would certainly be crowing about it. So I may have been in error on that.
Yeah.
JC said it wasn't confirmed. They just heard it, and I tried to connote it that way.
There was a 230 and a 220 on the Star trip that just got back this morning.
Oh, there you go.
It was both daytime fish, and one was on the sinker rig, and one was on a jig, on a 150-gram jig.
Oh, my God. You mean something like a Daiwa
The same guy.
Really?
Yeah.
He had a 230?
230 and a 220.
Oh my God, that guy, man. I want to go to Vegas with him.
I'm right there with you. Yeah. So.
During the daytime when you're sinker rig fishing, are you fishing fluoro, and what pound are you
80
fishing?
pound, guys. 80. That's it.
You don't go any lighter than that?
There's really, you can certainly make the adjustment, but start with 80. Probably be a really good bet for you to be able to land the fish. Look at the size of fish that are around based on what I've heard. I know this is the first trip of the season for this boat here, but based on what we've heard and the average size of that fish, you can certainly run in the daytime that 20 to 50 pound grade fish that they were getting a couple weeks ago. But the chances of a cow or of a jumbo is pretty good, in the area we are fishing at. So start with 80, man. And I said start. You can work your way up. On this boat, the guys they like to fish recommend 80 and 100 pound. We had a trip 2 Octobers ago where that 80 and 100 pound daytime sinker rig accounted for several fish over 150 and one over 2. So sinker rigs is always. I'd start with 80.
Yeah. Novice anglers, a lot of you guys know all this stuff, but just in case we have some new people out there, Jim said, keep that fish right in front of you.
Yeah.
So follow your fish. I mean, you and I know that. Most of our guys know that, but somebody out there new.
Yeah.
You got to keep that fish right in front of you. You got to pay attention.
You got to keep it right in front of you, and then of course you got to follow that fish. But hopefully we get some of that footage on this trip, where we'll show you when you don't want to follow that fish.
Well, when is that?
That's kind of towards that end there when he's in this death circle.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because you follow him and it makes the circles bigger.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Because you'll hear a crew member say all the time, no, just stand right there and whine.
Yeah.
Because the guy is inclined to follow, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah. And that's where kind of having the crew on this boat here, these guys with their big fish experience, they'll stop you. Yeah. Stay right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got Tyler on here, and all these guys, man, really veteran crew. The one thing, I hate to say this, Tyler's sitting right there, but he seems to be good friends with Scott Bucher. So I might have to hold that against him. Scott was hitting me in the head with a roll of paper towels.
I was wondering what you were doing in the parking lot.
Did you say that?
Running circles.
Because Scott goes, "There's Brian over there," and I just go, "Where is he? Where is he?" I'm driving him nuts, going in circles. That was good fun.
Yeah.
Anything else that we can tell folks? Do we have any questions out there or anything? Mackie, no questions?
People just saying hi.
All right, well, it's good. Hey, thank you so much. I'm excited about this, man. We're on our way. I can see Point Loma right now. We're going by the point pretty much. Heading down the Baja coast. Big bluefin are biting, man.
I'm all rigged up.
Are you?
The jigs are ready to go.
Yeah,
ready to go.
Rambo said, no screwing around before you go to bed and take a nap, man. Rigged up.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to we're taking a nap, right? Normal bedtime for me is 11. We're going to get there at midnight.
I know.
We'll start hunting anyway at midnight.
Are you going to take a nap now?
Probably not. I got some cigar smoking to do.
I was all set for it, but then I had like 3 cups of coffee, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Morning briefing could be a little bit difficult. Depends on Wi-Fi and all of that, but I'll try to keep you updated with shorts, like 30-second shorts.
Don't worry, guys. He's on the water, so he's not doing anything else.
And we do have some shows scheduled for you, both Tuesday evening and Wednesday evening, that I know you're going to enjoy. Sand bass and fishing breakwall, calico bass, CCA events coming up. We'll have all of that for you and so much more. We're going to shoot a great video out here. We'll cut out, or we might come back on.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Look
is.
here.
They sound.
I think we're back.
We're back?
We're back.
All right, perfect. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Hey, Brian, this is not your full-time job doing this.
Mm-mm.
What is your full-time job? For all the old farts out there like me, I was fortunate enough to go to you. And like after that experience, I tell everybody, talk to Brian, man. He'll figure it all out for you. Everything's smooth for me.
Much appreciated. I help people navigate their way through their entire Medicare journey, whether they have it or getting into it. Review everything to make sure that the benefits suit them and their needs. It's not just a matter of going out and finding something on the TV commercial. It's really there's a whole lot more to it. I went through it with you.
Yeah.
And we started off. It was really grand. A lot of stuff, a lot of detail to go through. But as we started to get work together on it, we got things tightened up and closer to where you don't even call me with questions anymore.
No,
you call
I
me
know.
with other things, but you don't call me with questions anymore.
It's because everything's taken care of.
Answered for you. So.
And I had to go to emergency room here not that long ago, and that went smooth as could be.
There you go.
Smooth as could be.
That's what I do.
So how do they reach you?
You can go onto my website, www.mhlis.com. And a couple of your viewers have reached out already, so thank you very much. On there's that big old banner. It says, ask me about Medicare. Click on that and fire off an email. I'm going to edit that this year. It's going to say, ask me about Medicare and fishing.
There you go.
Fishing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mackie will be calling in about 30 years.
There you go. Look forward to it.
All right. Hey, we're going to head south, get down to Ensenada, be down there around midnight. And, of course, Mackie and I will be shooting video, trying to capture all the excitement. Hopefully we'll get some big fish on here. And then when we get back in Thursday morning, we'll start releasing some of the shorts that Brian, with his great knowledge about this great sport of ours, will be connoting to you all. So you ready? Is that it? Anything else?
I'm ready.
Brian, can't wait,
Thanks,
man.
Phil.
Let's do this.
We're going to have a fun trip.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
so much.